Chapter 11, Testing Against Reality. The Illusion of Completion. It's tempting to think of your mental framework as something you finish. You've chosen your anchor points, organized your beliefs, learned to connect ideas, filtered wants from needs, and spotted your biases. So now you're done, right? Not quite. A framework that isn't tested against reality will slowly drift into irrelevance. It may look coherent on paper, but if it fails under real conditions, its apparent strength is an illusion. Reality as the ultimate judge. From CloudMind's Make Mistakes, cheap, not rare reflection. When the cost of mistakes is low, we can move fast and adapt. When the cost is high, we're paralyzed with fear. Testing your framework isn't about proving you're right. It's about finding the weak points while the cost of correction is still low. Why testing matters. 1. Prevents rigidity. Without testing, you risk clinging to ideas that no longer fit the world as it is. 2. Builds confidence. A principle that survives repeated testing becomes more than a belief. It becomes a trusted tool. 3. Reveals blind spots. Reality doesn't care about your preferences. It will expose what your framework missed or misunderstood. 4. Encourages adaptability. Testing builds the habit of revision without fear, so change feels like growth, not loss. How to stress test your framework. 1. Simulation. Play out scenarios mentally or in writing. Ask, if I apply this principle in X situation, what's the likely outcome? What if the opposite happens? 2. Small-scale trials. Apply a new idea in a low-stakes context before committing fully. Example, test a boundary-setting principle in a minor disagreement before using it in a critical relationship moment. 3. Reality feedback loops. After making a decision, revisit it. Did this work as expected? If not, why? 4. Contradiction search. Actively look for situations where your principles conflict and work through how you'd resolve them. The role of evidence. A coherent framework is not built on stubbornness. It's built on alignment with reality. If the evidence shows a principle works across contexts, keep it. If it consistently fails in real-world conditions, revise or replace it. If it works in some contexts but not others, refine its application rules. Testing without fear. Testing isn't a threat to your identity. It's a service to your integrity. If your framework is part of who you are, letting it be wrong sometimes doesn't make you wrong. It makes you honest. From guideposts for living wisely, avoid extremely intense ideology. This keeps you open to evidence even when it challenges cherished ideas. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. Sometimes testing reveals that data isn't the only valid input. Intuition can be tested too. When the test hurts. Reality tests can sting. You realize you've been wrong for years. You see harm caused by a principle you thought was virtuous. You notice that a belief served your ego more than your values. This pain is a sign that the framework is evolving. If you let the discomfort do its work, it will lead to a more grounded, resilient system. From theory to field-tested wisdom, your framework becomes truly yours not when it's written down, but when it's lived, tested, and adapted over time. Testing turns philosophy into practice, and practice into lived wisdom. Key takeaway: a coherent framework earns its strength by surviving contact with reality. Testing isn't about proving you're right. It's about making sure you're ready for the world as it is, not as you wish it to be.